Hey, 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 it's Kimberly Smith Austin here, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Made to Inspire podcast. I am here today with my awesome and amazing co-host, Misty Kerrigan. Hey, Misty.
Hey, Kimberly, happy 2023.
Woo! We made it. We made it. We know that 2022 was, I'm going to say, an amazing year.
I had an amazing year.
Right? We made it. And that's what counts.
We are excited for 2023, year of me.
That's right. 2023, it's all about me.
But in a great way, right? Like empowering yourself, taking care of yourself, investing in yourself, and really just so that you can take care of others.
That's right.
And yourself. We run against so many, oh, what's that word in society when they're like, oh, women are helpers and nurturers, and especially in some of the fields we're in where you're always just taking care of others. And I know how many women have you've coached or even run into where we forget to take care of ourselves. And we were kind of laughing because we were in a group and we were talking about how, no, we actually put ourselves first.
That's right.
And there was some weird looks.
Yeah.
But the funny part was once the explanation went out, and understanding the importance of that, a lot of people were like, oh, because
right.
you can't serve others on an empty cup.
That's right. It's impossible. You can't pour from empty. So make sure your cup is filled up. In fact, serve from the overflow. Ooh. And so today's show, we're going to talk about just going into the new year with a new perspective, the new mindset that 2023 is all about me, not me per se, but you. And I think when you put that in your head and you put that in your heart and you step forward on it, you can make things possible. We believe that there are millions of possibilities. In fact, all things are possible if you believe and you're willing to do the work to get to it.
What we think, the things we believe to be true, we will create. And so there is not a rule, whether it's good or bad. All things we believe to be true, we are then kind of pulsating out this great energy and it's magnetizing those things towards us. So then we subscribe to the things of, why not think big things? Why not dream big? And we just were on a meeting earlier, and it was really talking about, even you said you were dreaming kind of small, which was funny because you're usually the big dreamer, right? And you're like, all right, guys, what do we need to do? What if we just take the moment, exhale, and we just dream? We dream big. That's and right. It almost doubled what we were talking about because we got out of our own way.
That's right. And I love it. Last week's show, we talked a little bit, it was Christmas, obviously, and we encourage you to make sure that you had yourself under the tree, that you spent time developing yourself or making sure that you invested in yourself. And so as we go into this new episode of this new year, we're here to talk about the millions of possibilities, which actually happens to be the title of our book, Millions of Possibilities. But we want to encourage you as you go into 2023 to dream, to plan, and to do. Those are the three things our whole talk is about today. Dream, plan, and do. I know Les Brown says that the cemetery is the richest place in the world because people die with their dreams inside of them. And that really is heart-wrenching when you think about it, because I know I have tons of dreams, and I'm sure you do too. Imagine not being able to fulfill those dreams, to walk out in those dreams, to live those dreams, to be those dreams, to have those dreams. It's a little.
I was waiting for you to break out into song.
I know. Beyond the world. No.
But I think the funniest part, especially working with parents, and both of us doing some of our coaching, is your children won't do what you say. Your children will do what you do. So, one of the things, if you're really excited and you want them to chase their dreams, is you still have to chase yours. That's and I think sometimes people forget that and they like, well, I have to sacrifice and then this will happen. But then they wonder, well, why are my kids really living out there? Why aren't they, they have so much potential. I can't tell you how much I've heard that. There's so much potential. They're just not doing nothing with it. Well, that's the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in the sense of they will do what you do, not what you say. So it's giving you permission to really sit down and dream.
Yes, dream,
what
plan,
does that look like?
Yeah. And you think about it, that's such a great point, Misty. When we lose our dreams, and I think so many people do, or I won't say lose them, they set them aside.
Mm.
They set them on the sideline because they want to make their children, see life in a different way and experience it. And I think every parent has always said, I want my children to have or do better than I did.
Mm.
But if you're not fully living out your life, your children are watching you suppress your dreams, suppress your desires, and not fully live out your life, which means they don't have an example. They don't have an example. And I know my son, without any shadow of a doubt, thinks I am absolutely crazy.
Oh, yes,
Absolutely
he does.
crazy. Right? Because I'm like, let's go, let's see, let's be. And I'm trying to, and every day I'm like, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And maybe I'm over the top a little bit, but I'm showing him what that looks like, what living out your life, living out your dreams look like. And I've shared with you on the show before how he's written business plans and and every day he's coming with a new idea because he knows that I'm not afraid to dream or step out of that box to try to live it out. And so we want to encourage you to dream.
And I love that. And a basic way to start is just take some time, grab a notebook or your phone, whatever. Where I'm old school, I like still writing. There's something to that. And there's also just a lot. Sometimes in this world, we don't take time. It's just always go, 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 do. But if you're just taking that time, we used to call it your happy place. Where do you feel? Is it in your bed? Is it at the beach? Is it by the fireplace? But just taking some of that time. And you actually, Kimberly, you have a really great routine, a great strategy in the morning.
That's right.
Before you even, the joke is before you even get up to pee, you're already kind of in that routine to have the gratitude, the prayer, and then kind of really think about the day. What's the big thing I'm going to do today?
Right. And that's magical. And Misty, I never thought about it. I do it before I even go to the restroom in the morning. But it's really a habit that I have formed many moons ago. And if for some reason it's pressing and I need to go to the restroom, I take the habit with me in the restroom so that the work still gets done. That is how I start my day. And I'll tell you, when I don't start my day this way, my days are disruptive. I'm a little lost. I'm a little off balance. And I think that's important when you think about something that you value, something that you created a routine around, that when you miss it, your body's like, hey, whoa, who am I? And what are we doing? What's going on?
And a lot of times we forget your brain is a muscle. Mm-hmm. I think science long ago had said we quit developing, and then that was false. Once we got better science, we learned your brain is a muscle, and the more you work it out, the better it's going to be for you. And so it really is having that, I don't care what age you are, is that sitting there and allowing yourself to create and to dream and to really get into those brain waves of gratitude. And what else? One of the things I love, I heard Sharon Lecter say it one time, is when they were little at the dinner table, her dad would always say, how did you add value today? How did you add value to someone's life today?
Yeah. That reminds me of the Boy Scouts. Did you do a good turn daily? I love that. When my son joined the Scouts and I became an assistant Scout master, it was like, do a good turn daily. And that means a good deed. And I'm like, whoa, so powerful. And that's exactly with our dreams. Every day, we should be dreaming a new dream. And I know that seems weird, but when you think about the dreams that you have, and as we are people, we evolve. So that dream evolves and there's a new element, a new arm, or a new leg to it. And now that dream, it just magnifies and it grows. But if you stop and you become stagnant, and I spoke about that last night, I had an impromptu speech and I talked about how, when we stop growing, we die.
Yep.
We stop growing, we die. So we want that dream to live inside of us. Better yet, to live outside of us, because we're actually living it out and bringing it to life. Now, Misty, how do you bring it to life? What's that next part?
So one of the things that we're loving to do, we do this in our programs, our coaching, our workshops, even in the book, is plan it. Plan your success. And planning it is very simple as taking your dream and breaking it down into what can I do to move forward to it? Like if I'm moving towards that direction, I like to talk it this way because it's the easiest for me to see it. If we make it like a map, so my dream, if it's New York and I want to go to New York, I plug that in and then I get directions on how to get there. Well, any dream is the same. Is there's nothing new under the sun. You'll hear us say that over and over again. And how did someone else meet their dream that might be similar to yours? Do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to write a song? KFC, when he was 72, do you want to start a restaurant? But it really is, what is the plan? And the plan can be circumvented by looking at who's already where I want to be, what are the steps they did, and then how do I copy and pasting those actions.
That's it. That's power. Fail to plan to fail. And so planning is essential in every process, every step that we take in our lives, whether it's building a business, whether it's making a burrito, whether it's, clothing your child, whatever your function is, there has to be a plan involved. And so we look at this year, you're deciding that you're going to take your life to the next level. Start by planning. Take your schedule out your time. If hey, first of all, put your family first. Put that family time in that schedule first and foremost. Then from there, put those critical activities in your business or your proposed business. So those things are highlighted and defined. I have in front of me my planner. I have worked out almost all of the year. All of the year has been written down. Yes, I have some openings because I want to have some free time, but I've put the critical things down, created a plan in which I want to move forward with my activities. And when you think about that, knowing where you're going is essential. You have to have a mission, a vision, a purpose, and then you position yourself so that you are now able to go into action, which is kind of that last step, huh, Misty?
Number 3 is the do. And the funny part, we always, if you've listened to us we've been a few years now, for the few years on the podcast, we're always joking that Kimberly is the action. Like the let's go, and I'm like, but wait, what are the directions? And you're that we'll figure out as we go. But it's so funny is because it's that action that gives you the confidence. That's Once right. You're in motion, even if you fall or don't get as far as you want, your brain sees it in a different light. It's that fear when you're not doing anything, when you're just thinking and overthinking and thinking, that you get stuck. But if you get out there, and one of the words we love to say is beta test something. Is it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just beta test it. Let's just move on, and then we can make it perfect later. That action helps you almost therapeutically want more action. And that word becomes momentum. Once you have action in action, the funny part is it's things are so simple. It's the same thing as Kimberly, because she never stops working out. But if you've ever worked out and then you've stopped for some reason, your body craves the consistency in working out. Now, Kimberly has worked out so long, she has not stopped to have her body even crave it. But if she doesn't get it in time, we've been out in conferences, we've been out training, and I think it's like 10 p.m. at night. You were like, I just have to move. Like it's been your body's already in motion because your body's like almost like a puppy, right? It gets trained. Your body gets trained to watch Netflix all day. Your body gets trained to run marathons all day, but your body is the same as your brain. And so that's where we're looking at is put something in action, even if it's a small action, it'll help you to move towards momentum.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I was listening to Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he spoke about motion versus action. Motion is that planning thing where you sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to run a marathon, right? So let me create a training plan. So you write on Monday, I'm going to run 2 miles, Tuesday, 3 miles, Friday, 7 miles. That's the motion aspect of it. And many people stop in motion. They create the plan, but then there's the action. The action is saying on Tuesday, I went and ran 2 miles. On Friday, I went and ran those 7 miles. So when you think about it, planning is essential, but the plan does not matter until you take the action. And that's only if you want to change and transform your life. If you want to bring that business to life, if you want to take your revenue to 6 figures, 7, 8, 9 figures, if you want to 10x your results, it has to go from planning, AKA motion, to do, AKA action. Essential.
And the funny part is the action's easier than the plan. So even it's like you want to run a marathon, yes, iron out what does that look like. But when you say you want to run a marathon, stop what you're doing and go out for a run. Go
That's
for a
it.
walk, put yourself in motion, and then come back and then do the plan because you're already in motion.
That's it. That's it. I love it. One other example I think about is this young salesperson. He put this jar, 120 paper clips inside of a jar, and he made a decision that each and every day he would take one paper clip as he makes one call and drop it into the other jar. And guess what? He would not allow himself to leave for the day from his office until all 120 paper clips were gone. As a result of that, he tripled X his income. He got the raise, he got the job, and then was able to transfer his skill set as a high performer, because that's what he became, by way of a systematic approach, by way of planning and action. He then went to a new firm and made goobs and gobs of dollars.
And he almost made it fun, moving like the how we like as humans that I moving it, like meaning I did something, and it takes away the scariness of the call because you're more focused on getting to move the paperclip than you are about the rejection on the call. Because after you move the paperclip, you could care less about rejection because you got to get 100 more calls. I don't got time to worry that someone said no because it wasn't the right time, or maybe I didn't say it right. But it really is that getting out of the fear.
That's so big. It makes me think one last piece about when I used to swim. I still do, but I didn't have a fancy watch, and I used pennies. And every lap, I would put a penny on the side of the pool, another penny and another penny to determine when I reached that 1 mile. Those little things, that accomplishment, as I stacked the penny up over on top of the next one, it brought me the joy. So think about your dream like that. As you see the little building blocks build, as you get closer to the finish line, as you build more momentum, more sales, more revenue, more staff, more teammates, guys, the excitement is there. And I know all it takes is for you to take that dream that's inside of your head and heart, put a plan on the paper or electronic, whatever you prefer, and then do the work, because your dreams matter. Plant the seed and let it go. Let it grow, not let it go, and let it grow into whatever your heart's desire.
Drop the safety pin. That was awesome. Drop the paperclip.
Right? Good stuff. So in this process, Misty, tell us, what else can we do to really take that dream to the next place?
So one of the things is getting people around you, I think, is having that community. And unfortunately, sometimes our family is not going to be that community, or some people that are closest to us. So it really has to be is, where do you go out and find that community, or where do you go out and find that coach, that mastermind? But it's getting that synchronicity going. And you're excited about your dreams and they're excited about theirs. And you could kind of sum it up into most of the shows that we do, if you think about it, are about goal setting and about community and about dreaming. And we'll just cycle them. We'll bring in other people. It'll mask itself as business. But when you take it down just to the very, 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 very root of everything, it really is about your divine purpose, the actions you're putting into place, and that community you're surrounding yourself with, because that community is also you impacting them so they grow.
Yeah. That community piece is so big. I think about it, having built 8 businesses over the years, and initially thinking that my friends and family were going to be the source of my fortune. Really, that wasn't it. And I say this, it has absolutely nothing to do with the show, but it does, because I'm here to tell you that although they can support you along the way, they're not going to be your end all be all. You must go outside of that circle, right? Outside of the circle, however you make a circle, and find the people that want and need what you have. As Misty said, sometimes our family, they're the biggest naysayers. They don't believe, they don't see. They remember when we were little Johnny and we were 6 years old with a runny nose. And so their focus is on that person and not the person that we've become, not the passionate person who's going to take the steps necessary to build that dream, to build it and bring it to life. And so we make sure your community is tight, strong, like-minded people smarter than you, people that are more passionate than you, people that have performed at higher levels than you. I love chasing behind someone. I do. A lot of people say, you're competitive. I'm not. I'm competitive with me, but I
Mm,
love chasing someone that I'm like, hey, how did you get there? What did you do? Let me come behind you so I can figure it out too.
I love that. What can I do today to be better? Doesn't matter what the person next to me is doing, but that next to me is pulling me to want more, then I can do better. I love that. That's huge.
That's right. I think about The Go-Giver, the book. I think Bob Berg is the author. Such an amazing book. And he really is talking about when we give me in that whole concept of grow and go, and we give and we're going after the things we want. We connect with the people who have arrived, who are doing it. We give ourselves a better chance to see success. If you're hanging around with those folks that aren't doing it, the broke uncle who's telling you don't buy that property. In fact, I remember in the latest edition of what's the book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the 20th year anniversary, which was an amazing book, by the way. He talked about one of his friends that he helped find an amazing property, and the person listened to a neighbor who had never invested a dime. And yet you have a man who's made millions of dollars in investment, and he did not take the deal. Really? Really? Guys, we gotta expand our knowledge base, expand and spread our wings so that we connect with the people that are going where we want to go.
Love it.
So we're here to get you dreaming, and we know that you have some dreams. So a couple things that we want to do for you. If you're here and you have a million ideas, or maybe just one, we want to invite you, and well, better yet, let you know that January the 30th is the kickoff of our 5-day Income to Idea Challenge. Now, this is not just for new people. This is for anyone that has an idea, that want to take it from zero to hero, that want to go from the cradle to the grave with their idea. They want to take it to that next level. We are going to be launching our 5-day Idea to Income Challenge. It's going to be power packed with information. We're going to have workshops. We're going to have tools and worksheets to help you go to that next level. And we're going to bring some sneaky, wonderful guests in to give you some inspiration to keep going, Because sometimes the road gets tough and you're on that treadmill and you get tired. And when you get tired, you want to pull off to the side of the road. We're here. We want to help you get on the treadmill and keep running until your idea truly becomes income for you, for your family, so you can leave a legacy and leave a whole future behind you. And that's starting January 30th. Mark your calendar. We'll be dropping the link here next week on our show so that you can sign up. We're going to be giving you secret sauce, the secret sauce. We're using some of the formats that you've seen in our book. If you have our book, you know what's kind of in our brains, but we're taking it to the next level with the Idea to Income Challenge starting January 30th, 2023. And our hope is that you're getting your thing started and you're getting ready to run and make things happen for you in your business, your life, your future, your fortune.
This is the year. This is the year.
That's it. It's all about me, 2023. All right, guys. Well, as we say every single week on the show, there's something out there waiting for you.
Now go get it.